Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our All Levels Flow. Today we'll start in a seated position. And so just finding a comfortable seat. If you've got a pillow or blanket you'd like to sit up onto, you can set that up. And then just settling into this first shape. Start to connect with the breath. Taking a moment here to notice how you're breathing today. Noticing the quality of your breath. Doing a bit of a body scan. And just start to notice all the different sensations in the body. Maybe noticing where you might be holding some tension or tightness. Maybe noticing some differences between the left side and the right side. Take this moment just to really tune in and to connect within. And then let's set our hands in front and just start to walk the hands forward, coming into this passive forward fold. And slowly walking hands back in towards you. Let's take our right hand to our right side and sweep the left arm up and over, stretching across the left side of the body. And then rising up through center and lowering the left hand down and reach the right arm overhead, stretching all across the right side. And then coming back to center, let's reach the arms out wide and start to flip the palms up towards the ceiling. Right, really expanding out through the fingertips. And just hold here. Notice if you're lifting up through the ribs and just hug the ribs in. Relax through the shoulders, and again, just keep extending out through the fingertips. Start to turn the fingertips down towards the mat and start to feel a sensation of stretch across the inside lines of the arms. And just keep holding here and keep breathing. Just noticing how the sensation of stretch feels all across the arms. And then flipping the palms back up. Start to curl the fingers in and wrap the thumbs. Start to turn the fists up towards the ceiling. Maybe start to feel a sensation of stretch across the outer lines of the arms. And just taking a couple more breaths here. And then releasing the fingers, slowly lower the arms down. Maybe do a couple of shoulder rolls. And then making your way into tabletop. And we'll do a couple of cycles of cat and cow. Spreading the fingers wide, shoulders about, or hands about shoulder width or a little wider. Shoulders can be stacked above the wrists or slightly behind, and knees about hip distance, and either toes tucked under or tops of the feet are on the mat. And on your next breath, start to scoop the spine and drop the belly. Take the tailbone up and send the chest forward. Start to take your gaze up. And when you're ready, start to round through the spine and lower the head and tuck the tailbone. Stretch all across the back lines of the body. On your next breath, making your way back into cow. and then stretching back into cat. And just doing a few more cycles of cat and cow. And just going at your pace. You can move as slow or as fast as you like. You can pause at any point through this movement. And returning to center. Let's step both feet back, coming into plank, and then taking the hips up and back for downward dog. You can reset your stance here in your downward dog, and then maybe just start to pedal out the feet a few times, stretching out the back of the legs. Maybe lifting the hips up a little higher and get long through the spine. And coming back to center, start to bend the knees deeply and looking forward towards the hands. Hop or walk towards the top of the mat, coming into forward fold. On your next breath, lifting up halfway and lengthen, and then fold forward once again. Start to rise up to stand and circle the arms up and over. And as you hinge from the hips, let's start to take the arms out wide, making your way back into standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway, extend out through the crown of the head. Fold forward once again, and planting hands onto the mat, stepping feet back, finding your plank, either knees up or knees down, and then lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes and hug the elbows in. As you press the feet down into the mat, start to curl up into your back bend. And slowly lower back down. And we'll do 2 more. Pulling the hands back towards the mat. Start to rise up. And lowering back down. We'll do that 1 more time. Lifting up through the crown of the head. Sending the heart forward. And lower all the way back down. And push up into your tabletop. Let's walk the hands over towards the right side of the mat and step the left foot forward next to the hands, sweeping arms up and over, coming into your low lunge. Start to stretch the arms over to the left, stretch all across the right side, sweeping arms up through center and reach over to the right. Pressing through that left foot, hug the left hip back, and maybe get a little taller through the spine. Rise back up to center, and sweeping hands down onto the mat. Tuck the right toes under and lift the right knee up, and step the right foot forward next to the left, coming into standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway and fold forward once again. Rise up to stand and circle the arms up and over. And as you lower the arms, start to hinge forward, finding your way back into standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway, unfurl the spine and send the chest forward. Coming back into your forward fold, plant the hands and step both feet back. Returning back into your plank and then lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes and start to rise up into your cobra and then lower all the way back down and push back into your tabletop. And we'll do that same flow on the other side. Walking hands over to the left side of the mat. Step the right foot forward next to the hands. Sweeping arms up and over. Coming into low lunge. Reaching arms over to the right and stretch across the left side body. Let's sweep the arms up through center and reach them over to the left. Root through that right foot and hug that right hip back. Lift the chest up, rising back up to center. And let's sweep both hands down onto the mat. Tuck the left toes under and lift the right knee up, or left knee up, and step the left foot forward. Coming into standing forward fold. Next breath, lifting up halfway. Get long through the spine. Fold forward once again and rise up to stand. Circle the arms up and over and making your way back into standing forward fold. Let's lift up halfway and fold forward once again. Plant the hands and step both feet back, coming into your plank and then lowering all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes and this time take the hands underneath the shoulders. And then on your next breath, start to rise up, curling up into your back bend and hold here. Option to lift the legs up off the mat and lift the hands up off the mat. And just keep holding here. Right, extend out through the toes and extend out through the crown of the head. And then slowly lower all the way back down. Taking hands by the low ribs and lift up into tabletop. And let's start to add on to our flow. Walking hands over to the right side of the mat. Step the left foot forward next to the hands. Sweeping arms up and over. Let's reach the arms over to the left. Sweeping them up through center and reach over to the right. Come back to center and let's twist to the left. Take the arms out wide. Hold here and start to lower that left arm down. Stretch the right arm up. Rise up through your twist and then lower the right hand down and lift the left arm up. On your next breath, lower that left hand down, tuck the right toes under and lift the right knee up and step the right foot forward next to the left, returning back into standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway, keep the back of the neck long and fold forward once again. Rise up to stand. Extend out through the fingers, taking the arms up overhead. And right away, making your way back into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway and folding forward. Planting the hands and step both feet back, coming into your plank and lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes and hands under the shoulders. And on your next breath, start to rise up, lifting the legs up off the mat and lifting hands up off the mat. And just taking a couple of breaths here. And slowly lower all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs and lift up into your tabletop. And we'll do that same flow on the other side. Walking hands over to the left side of the mat. Step the right foot forward. Sweeping arms up and over. And let's stretch over to the right. Sweeping arms through center and send them over to the left. Coming back to center, and let's twist to the right, taking the arms out wide. Start to lower the right arm down and stretch the left arm up. Rising up into your twist, let's plant the left hand down and keep that right arm up. And then lower the right hand onto the mat. Tuck the left toes under and lift the left knee up. And step that left foot forward next to the right. Coming into standing forward fold. Next breath, lift up halfway. Keep the spine long. And fold forward once again. And pushing feet into the mat. Coming up to standing. Reaching arms up and over. Start to dive forward. Coming back into standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway. And fold forward once again. Plant the hands and step both feet back into your plank. And then lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes and take hands under the shoulders. And on your next breath, start to lift up into your back bend. Lift the legs, lift the hands, and just hold here. Keep breathing. And then slowly lower all the way down. Hands by the low ribs. And lift up into your tabletop. And we'll continue to add on to our flow. Taking hands over to the right side of the mat. Let's step that left foot forward. Sweep arms up and over for low lunge. Stretching arms over to the left and sweep them up through center and reach them over to the right. Rise up back to center and then let's twist and open up to the left. Start to lower that left hand down and reach that right arm up. Rising back up into your twist and let's hold here. Tuck the right toes under and lift the right knee up off the mat. Start to straighten both legs and reach the arms up overhead. Slowly bending into the knees, sweeping the arms out to the side, and then maybe lowering back down onto that right knee and lower the arms. And let's do that 2 more times. Sweeping arms up, start to lift that right knee up off the mat and stretch the arms up. Still holding in our twist. And slowly lower back down any amount. Right, so the knee can hover or you can lower all the way down, sweeping the arms back down. One last time. Start to straighten the legs. Sweep the arms up. Whoa. Sweeping the arms up. And then last time, bending into the knees and lower all the way back down. Let's unwind. Sweeping arms up, coming into low lunge. And then sweeping hands down onto the mat. Lift that right knee up and step the right foot forward, coming into standing forward fold. Next breath, lift up halfway, folding forward once again, rising up to stand, stretching arms up and over, and start to dive forward. making your way back into standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway and lengthen. Fold forward once again. Plant the hands and step both feet back, finding your plank, and then lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. This time take the arms out to your sides, palms face down. And slowly start to rise up. Lift the arms and lift the legs up off the mat. Lift up through the crown of the head and send the heart forward. And then lower all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. And let's push back up into our tabletop. And we'll do that same flow on the other side. Walking hands over to the left. Let's step that right foot forward. Sweeping arms up and over. Let's stretch the arms over to the right. Take them up through center and reach them over to the left. Rising up to center, let's twist and open up to the right. Start to lower the right hand back and stretch the left arm up. And then rise back up into your twist. Let's tuck the left toes under and lift the left knee up, holding here in your twist. Start to straighten into that front knee and stretch both arms up. And bending back into that right knee, take the arms out wide and then continue to lower onto that left knee and take the arms down. And we'll do that 2 more times. Start to lift that left knee up, straighten into that right leg and sweep the arms up and over. And then slowly lower any amount. Again, you can hover the knee or take the knee all the way down. And one last time, rising up, reaching the arms up, still in our twist. And then let's lower all the way back down. And then unwind, sweeping the arms up and over. And then taking hands down onto the mat. Lift that left knee up and step the left foot forward. Coming into our standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway and fold forward once again. Rise up to stand, sweeping both arms up and hinging at the hips, coming back into our standing forward fold. Next breath, lift up halfway, extend out through the crown of the head. Fold forward and plant the hands and step the feet back. Find your plank and then lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes, taking arms out to the sides with the palms face down. And on your next breath, start to lift up into locust pose. Lifting arms and legs up off the mat. Maybe lifting everything up a little higher. And then slowly lower all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. And push back into a child's pose. The arms can be forward or back. Or you can bend the elbows and stack the hands. And rest the forehead onto hands. And just taking a moment here to reconnect with your breath. Just noticing how you're breathing. Noticing how you're feeling. And then slowly find your way up into downward facing dog. And just taking a couple of breaths here. And then let's bend the knees deeply, look forward to the hands, and hop or walk to the top of the mat, coming into forward fold. Lifting up halfway. And let's fold forward once again. Rise up to stand, reaching arms up and over, and then taking the arms to your sides for mountain pose. And just take a moment here at the top of your mat. And then this time, let's sweep the arms up. Start to shift the weight into the right foot and lift the left knee up off the mat. Keeping arms up overhead. Start to extend the left leg back and come into high lunge. Hold here in your high lunge. And then let's twist and open up to the right. Hold here in your twist. And let's lower that right arm back. Reach that left arm up. Rise back up into your twist. And let's reach both arms up and start to straighten the legs. And again, start to lower, bending into that left knee, any amount, taking the arms down to your sides. And let's do that 2 more times. Start to rise up, sweeping the arms up and over, and lowering any amount. Again, you can hover the knee or take the knee all the way down onto the mat. And 1 more time, sweeping the arms up and over and straighten the legs. And slowly lower all the way back down. And then let's rise back up into our high lunge twist. And let's hold here. Let's unwind, but keep the arms out wide. And let's just take a slight step forward with that left leg. And then slowly start to tip over towards a warrior 3 with the arms out wide. And then just holding here in your balance. Really extend out through that left heel and lift that inner left thigh up. Extend out through the crown of the head. And then slowly step that left foot next to the right and sweep the arms up and over. Coming back to standing and lower the arms out to your sides. And we'll do that same flow on the other side. And start to sweep the arms up and over. Shift the weight into the left foot and lift that right knee up. Slowly step that right leg back, finding your high lunge. Let's twist and open up to the left. And then lower that left arm down, stretch that right arm up. Rise back into your twisting lunge. And let's start to straighten into that left leg and reach the arms up overhead. Bending into both knees and lower all the way down. Again, that right knee can touch the mat or hover. And let's rise back up to stand, straightening into the legs and reach the arms up. Right, still holding in our twist. 1 last time, taking the arms back down. And then let's return into our twisting lunge. Keeping the arms out wide, let's unwind. And take a small step forward with that right leg. And then slowly start to tip forward. Maybe lifting that back leg up, coming into warrior 3. And just a moment here to pause, right? Find your balance and find your steadiness. And then slowly step that right foot down next to the left, sweeping arms up and over. And then lower the arms to your sides for mountain pose. And let's sweep the arms up and over. Start to dive forward, coming into standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway and fold forward once again. Plant the hands and step both feet back, finding your plank, knees up or knees down, and lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes, and let's extend the arms out in front with the palms face in. And on your next breath, start to lift up. Lift the arms and lift the legs off the mat. Maybe lift everything up a little higher. And then lower all the way back down. And hands by the low ribs. Pushing up through your tabletop. Tuck the toes under and take the hips up and back for downward dog. And just a couple of breaths here in downward dog. And then bending the knees deeply, looking forward to the hands. Hop or walk to the top of the mat, forward fold. Lifting up halfway and lengthen. And let's fold forward once again. Rise up to stand. Sweep the arms up and over. And take the arms out to your sides for mountain pose. Let's take hands to heart center. And start to shift the weight into the left foot. Lift the right knee up towards hip height and flex the foot. Slowly step that right leg back. And then sweep arms up and over for your high lunge. Let's twist and open up to the left. And start to lower that left hand back. Stretch the right arm up. Rise back up into your twist. And then continuing with the arms, let's windmill the arms. Start to take that right arm down, left arm up. Pivot onto the sole of that right foot. Keep spinning the arms. Take that right arm up overhead, straighten into the left leg, and come into triangle pose. Lifting up through the crown of the head and get tall through the spine. Start to rise up and then lower that right hand back. Reach that left arm up for reverse triangle. And slowly coming back up with arms extended. And let's come back into triangle once again. And then holding here. And start to turn the torso towards the mat, keeping the arms out wide and bending into that left knee. Spin that right heel up. And let's just step that right foot forward slightly. Slowly start to twist to the left. And then unwind back to center. And let's do that 2 more times. Start to twist to the left. Come back to center. And last time, twist to the left. Return to center. Hold here. And you can either stay here for a moment, or if you like, Start to lift that right leg up, coming back into our warrior three. And just holding and breathing. And then slowly step the right foot down next to the left. Rise up to stand and reach both arms up and over. And lower the arms out to your sides. And setting up for the other side. Taking hands to heart center. Let's start to shift the weight into that right foot. Lift the left knee up towards hip height. Slowly start to extend that left leg out behind you, making your way into your high lunge, sweeping arms up and over, and let's twist to the right. Start to lower that right arm down, stretch the left arm up. Rise back up into your twist. Start to lower that left arm down, reach that right arm up, pivot onto the sole of that left foot. Extend the right arm forward and left arm back. Start to straighten into that right leg. Right arm to the side and stretch that left arm up for a triangle. Let's rise up and then lower that left arm down and stretch the right arm up for reverse triangle. Next breath, rise back up and returning back into your triangle pose. Start to turn the torso towards the mat, keeping the arms out wide. Spin that left heel up and start to bend into that right knee. Maybe step that left foot forward a little, and let's start to twist to the right. Unwind back to center, and 2 more times. Twist to the right. Come back to center, and once again, twist to the right. Return to center, and start to tip forward a little more. Lift that left leg up, and come into your warrior three. Start to step that left leg forward next to the right. Rise up to stand and reach both arms up and over. And lower the arms to your sides for mountain pose. Next breath, let's sweep the arms up and over. Start to dive forward, coming into standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway. Fold forward once again. Plant the hands and step both feet back. Find your plank, knees up or knees down, and lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes, extend the arms forward with the palms face in. And on your next breath, lift the arms, lift the legs, curling up into your back bend. Extend out through the fingers and toes. Lift up through the crown of the head and send the heart forward. And then slowly lower all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. And push back into child's pose. Arms forward or back. You can bend the elbows and stack the hands and rest the forehead onto hands. Again, just taking a moment here to pause. Reconnect with your breath. Take a moment here to notice the quality of your breath. Noticing how you're feeling in this moment. And let's make our way into tabletop. Let's extend the right leg out behind us and flex the foot. Start to outer rotate that right leg so the toes start to point out to the side. Start to sweep the right leg over to the side and just holding here. Maybe noticing the weight through the hands. And try to keep that weight even. And start to lower the foot down onto the mat. Walking hands in towards you. Sweep the arms up and over. Right, coming into gate pose. Start to lower the right hand onto the right leg. Stretch that left arm over. Stretch all across the left side of the body. Rise back up to center and reach the arms up and over and start to stretch over to the left. Keep pressing that right foot down into the floor and then rise back up. Taking arms out to the side and let's twist to the left. Root through that right foot. Right, maybe start to notice a sensation of stretch across the front of that right hip. Coming back to center. And let's start to hinge towards the left. Lower that left hand down and reach that right arm up. Maybe sweep the right arm over and lift that right leg up. And then lower the foot. Stretch that right arm back up. And then sweeping that right hand down, walking hands forward towards your tabletop. Let's lift that right leg up to the side. Sweep it back behind you and then take it past the left leg. Bend into that right knee and tuck it behind the left. Right, untuck the toes and start to sit the hips back any amount. And just getting a bit of a stretch into the hips. And slowly shifting forward, untuck the legs, coming back into your tabletop. And let's go to the other side. Extend the left leg out behind you and flex the left foot. Start to outer rotate that left leg so the toes point out to the side. Sweep the left leg over to the left and just hold here. Maybe lift that leg up a little higher and then lower the foot down. Walk the hands in towards you and rising up, sweeping arms up and over. Let's lower the left hand onto the left thigh and stretch that right arm over. And rise back up, reaching both arms up. Take the arms out to the side and start to twist to the right. And keep pressing through that left foot and maybe start to feel a sensation of stretch across the front of that right hip. Unwind back to center and start to hinge towards the right. Lower the right hand onto the mat and stretch that left arm up. Maybe start to lift the left leg up and reach that left arm over. Stretch all across the left side. And then lower the left leg down. Reach that left arm up. And then plant the left hand down. Walk the hands forward towards your tabletop. Lift that left leg up. Sweep it out behind you. Take it past the right leg. Bend the left knee and tuck it behind the right. Untuck the toes and start to sit the hips back any amount. Just getting a stretch into the hips. And then shifting forward towards your tabletop and untuck the knees and sit the hips back and swing the legs out in front. Let's keep the left leg out to the side and bend into that right knee and take the sole of the right foot along the inner left leg. Flex the left foot and hug the left hip down into the mat. And let's twist to the right. You can rest the right hand onto that left hand onto the right knee. And just holding here in this gentle twist. And still holding in this twist, start to sweep that right arm up. Let's start to lean over that left leg, just taking a side bend here. And then slowly lower that right hand down. Unwind and turn the torso to face that left leg. And then sitting up nice and tall. Make sure your left foot is still flexed and you're hugging that left thigh down into the mat. Start to hinge from the hips. Hands can be on either side of the leg, or you can hold the leg. You can hold the ankle or hold the toes. Maybe lift up through the crown of the head a little more and just hinge from the hips and just fold just a little more. And then on your next breath, start to round through the spine and lower the head. And just adding a stretch all across the back body. And then coming back up to a seat, and let's switch sides. Extending the right leg out to the side, bending into that left leg, sole of the left foot along the inner right thigh. Flex your right foot and the toes are pointing up, and hug the right thigh down into the mat. Let's twist to the left. You can place that right hand onto the left knee or thigh. And just take a few breaths here in this gentle twist. And staying in this twist, start to reach that left arm up. And let's start to take that side bend, leaning over that right leg and reach that left arm over. And then lower that left hand, unwind and turn the torso to face that right leg. Let's sit up nice and tall. And then start to hinge from the hips. Hands can be on either side of the leg. You can hold anywhere along the leg, right? Or you can hold onto the ankle, the foot, or the toes. Maybe lengthen up along the spine a little more. Just fold a little further. And then on your next breath, start to round through the spine and lower the head. Just stretch all across the back body. And slowly coming back up to a seat, extending the legs out. And let's bend into both knees and slowly lower down onto the mat. Hugging both knees in towards the chest and just rock a little from side to side. And then holding onto that right knee, extend the left leg out along the mat. Taking the right knee in the left hand and just let the right arm fall out to the side. Take the right knee over to the left. Coming into a reclined twist. You can take your gaze towards the right. You can keep that right knee bent, or you can extend the leg any amount. You can rest that left hand onto the right thigh. And just coming into this reclined twist. If you like to stretch into the front of the left thigh, you can start to bend into that left knee and reaching down with that right hand, grab a hold of the left foot. Right, so that's just an additional option if you'd like to add a bit of a stretch into the quad. And just a couple more breaths here. And if you're holding that left foot, release the foot. And then slowly unwind and come to lie onto your mat. And we'll take a side bend here. So extending both legs out. Walk the heels over towards the left. Reaching arms up and over. Grab a hold of the right wrist in the left hand. And stretch the arms over to the left. And start to stretch all across the right side of the body. Option, if you like, you can cross one ankle over top the other, right? And it doesn't matter which one. You can try either and just decide which one feels better. Maybe breathe a little bit more into those right side ribs and just start to feel that stretch all across the right. And then slowly release. Come back to center. And maybe take a moment here just to notice how the right side feels compared to the left. And then let's hug the knees in towards the chest. And then maybe rock a little from side to side. Holding on to the left knee, extend the right leg out along the mat. Take that left knee into the right hand and just let the left arm fall to the side. And sweep the left knee over to the right, finding your reclined twist on the other side. You can keep that left knee bent, or you can extend the leg towards straight. You can rest that right hand onto the left thigh. You can take your gaze towards the left. And again, if you like to add that stretch into the right thigh, you can start to bend into that right knee, reaching down with that left hand and grab a hold of the right foot. So just finding your twist, just allowing the body to settle into this shape. And if you were taking that stretch in the thigh, release the right foot. Right, slowly unwind, come back to center. Extending both legs out along the mat. Let's walk the heels over to the right. Reaching arms up and over. Holding on to the left wrist in the right hand. And reach the arms over to the right. Start to stretch across the left side body. Again, option if you like to cross one ankle over top the other, or you can just keep the feet side by side. And just getting that stretch all across the left side body. And then slowly release, coming back to center, setting up into your final relaxation. And you can lay here in Shavasana, Right, with the arms to your sides and palms face up. And just let the feet fall to either side. Or if you prefer, you can take a seated meditation or any other final shape that feels most supportive to you. And just taking these next moments to just allow the body to let go. And just allowing the body to rest and relax. And if you're ready to close your practice, start to deepen the breath, bringing awareness back into the body, inviting movement into fingers and toes, inviting movement into arms and legs. You can roll the head from side to side, just gently waking the body back up. If you like to do one more stretch, you can reach the arms out behind you. Take a deep inhale here and stretch all through the body. And on your exhale, letting everything go. You can hug your knees in towards the chest once more. Maybe rock a little from side to side. Taking a moment here to thank yourself for your practice today. And when you're ready, you can find your way up towards a seat. And thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your practice with me today. It's always an honor and always a joy to share this practice. Sending gratitude for our practice and gratitude for our community. Wishing you a beautiful rest of the day. Peace.
Thank you, Anne.